Welcome to the Grizzled Warmaster. I'm Mike.
I'm Doug.
And we're the channel with the unfortunate demonetizing name because it has war in it.
Yes. That's all right.
And we're here today to talk about tabletop miniature gaming.
Yes.
What is it? So we're old-time tabletop miniature gamers. We're just now getting back into this after not being in it for 5 to 7 years, depending.
Something like that, yeah.
But we're hoping you join us on this journey and get back into it too. So some of you who may not know what tabletop miniature board gaming is, we're going to give you a brief overview of the different types of miniature board games, including the big one, Games Workshop's Warhammer 40K and Age of Sigmar.
Right.
Are the two big ones right now. So what kind of genres of tabletop miniature gaming are there, Doug?
All right, well, right now, there's a lot out there, actually. There's a ton. Like Mike said, we're going to stick to the major ones. What you see out here are Games Workshop's products. Oop. These over here are part of the science fiction, sci-fantasy 40K range. These are some Nurgle guys, because Mike's stuff is the most painted of us.
Yeah.
And then on this side of the table, we have their version of fantasy now, which is Age of Sigmar. Before they had fantasy, they were called just Warhammer Fantasy
Battles,
which was movement trays. It was rank and file, but that's gone. That does still exist for some different companies, just not Games Workshop. One of the ones we're going to do is Song of Ice and Fire, which just came out from Command Games.
Yeah.
It is a rank and file one. It still uses round bases like these do, but they plug into a movement tray, so you can move it around. And I guess GW still does a Lord of the Rings version of, I forget exactly what their name is.
The Hobbit and...
Yeah.
They have the Hobbit right now as the one.
Yeah, so... and I believe those also are rank and file.
Well, the
they
War
use,
Rings are...
They
use
the
War Rings large miniature game one.
Yeah, so they have both a skirmish and a large one, where again round bases plug into a movement tray. But
just to make a distinction really quick, there's like Doug said, it runs a gamut of miniature games all over the place. However, there are two main groups. There's war gaming, you want to say it.
Yeah.
And that is large armies,
yes,
big groups. You got to collect a whole army of guys and go against your opponent. And then there are skirmish level games.
Correct.
Which Games Workshop does several of those.
Yes, Kill Team and Shadespire are the two.
Shadespire is the Age of Sigmar one. Kill Team is the 40K one, basically, where you're basically running five guys, a squad of guys running around. And those were a lot of fun. So there's ways, if you're looking to get into miniature gaming and you don't want to jump into the whole army building, there's, like I said, Kill Team and Shadespire, and there's several other non-Games Workshop ones out there that are just skirmish level. They're a lot of fun, a lot of different genres from sci-fi to fantasy to, everything in between. So we're going to go ahead and kind of cover the big ones.
Yeah, and we should point out there's also two different levels, not number of models. There are two different genre, maybe I want to say. Mm-hmm. Games Workshop products are a hobby in addition to a game. Yeah. These come all unassembled. You've got to put them together, paint them yourself. But there are ones that are take them out of the box and play. Like this Song of Ice and Fire is meant, it's kind of a bridge. The models are all put together. They are color-coded to their army, but you could definitely paint them to make them a little more significant. Right. But there's also X-Wing and X-Wing Armada, which are HeroClix. Those are the ones you just take out of the box. They're already painted. Yeah. You just put them on a map and play.
And Games Workshop's actually kind of, without jumping fully into that area, some of their stuff, like the No Fear, those models in there are color-coded. Right?
Yes.
There's the Blue Marines are blue, Nurgle's green.
And more they're coming out with called Snap Fit models, where you're barely hobbying. It comes in like 2 or 3 or maybe 4 pieces
you don't need
that
glue.
Just push together and boom, the model is assembled. So for people who are, again, less interested in the hobby and more in the game, they are going towards where you're going to be able to build a significant portion of your army without doing a lot of hobbying.
I see bridging the gap, bringing a lot more people into this, because once they get into it and they see some of the details on these models, more likely that's how I got in. I got in from the game aspect. I want to play,
right?
And then I just started looking at the models, like, oh wow, I need to paint these up. So and we're gonna go through all of that in this channel, from building the armies to painting them to modeling, including the game tables, to the terrain,
right,
and everything else. So that's basically what we're doing. But right now we're going to show you a little bit of an example armies from several different ranges. All right, now forgive some of the models are not fully painted.
Yes, we're still working on that.
We're standard, your standard miniature gamers, in that we have like a ton of armies, none of them fully painted.
They range the gamut from pretty detailed to just put together and they're gray off the sprue.
Or they're primed.
None of those will be in the video. We're
we're going to show you basically an example of the different types of armies, so you can see. You're like, what? Am I interested in this wargaming thing? What one should I get into? Well, we're going to show you an example of the different armies. So here we go. Okay, here we have Bolt Action. This is a World War II miniature game. Here we have an army of Marines. Not a very Marine-type board, but, so you can see the different vehicles and the different weapon teams in the front. This is Warlord Games Bolt Action. A lot of the miniature games, this is for, like, it's not sci-fi, it's not fantasy. This is a realistic World War II game, a historical game. This is kind of like a bridge, because you can have team-ups that didn't happen in history, Like you can have the Marines here fight, the Germans instead of Japanese, or whatever you want to do. It's a great game, and, one of the ones we play quite a bit. Okay, here we have Conflict 47. Now, this is another game by Warlord Games. It's based on the bolt action rules, but it is bridging the line between historical and sci-fi. As you can see, there's mechs in the background, and weird Tesla coils in the tank, and heavy armored troops, and guys with jump packs. So it's a little. You still have regular troops like you see in the front. So this is one of those bridge games between sci-fi and historical. It's a lot of fun, and it's one of the ones we like to play a lot. We probably play this more than Bolt Action. Okay, here we have Age of Sigmar army. Forgive the bases, they're not completely done. Just had to rebase all these models onto the proper round bases. They were from Old Fantasy. I still haven't got the grid and clean one yet. But yeah, this is, the Nurgle army, because it's the mostly painted out of all our armies. This gives you an example. This Old Fantasy used to be rank and file, and it used to be on square bases. Now they're on round bases. Age of Sigmar, we're just getting into it, learning the rules. We like it so far, but this is the kind of thing you can expect. They got big monsters like the one in the middle, standard troops, specialty models, and even a lot of the armies come with unique terrain pieces, like the feculent Gnarlmaw in the back. That's what they call that thing. But yeah, Age of Sigmar is a lot of fun. Okay, here we're on to Warhammer 40,000, 40K, as it's known. This is probably the most popular of the miniature games. This is, again, another Nurgle army. Sorry, but that's the one we have mostly painted. But yeah, this one is definitely sci-fi. It takes the same kind of, creatures from like the Age of Sigmar, but now they're in the far future. You see giant, tanks in the background. You see floating drones. You see like the big walker mech things in the back called defilers. And everybody's in power armor. These are like corrupted space marines. So if you like playing like, Space Marines, the idea of lots of shooting and the sci-fi element of it, 40K is probably your game, and it's when you'll most likely find the most players playing in your area, and it's the most popular, and the one we're going to be doing quite a bit of. Okay, and finally we have games like this one, which is the Song of Ice and Fire miniature game. This is they come on round bases, but they are in movement trays like the old fantasy rank and file system. If you miss your rank and file, this is a really good army. Really good game. Right now, there's only 2 factions out right now, Lannisters and Starks. We just got into this game. It is a lot of fun. It plays differently enough and it is more. This is kind of a bridge between the board game and miniature game, as it does come with miniatures, but they're all like painted, or they're the colors of the factions. They're all there's no assembly. They're all complete, and the game even comes with like the flat terrain pieces out there, and some of them are important to the missions and everything, so you have to use them. But it is a lot of fun. We'll be doing a lot more with Age of Sigmar coming up here, and we got some neutral armies, and I believe that's the next one you're gonna be able to play is like a neutral army. But yeah, we're excited to get into this one. All right, so there we have it. A selection of miniatures from different genres of games.
Yep.
Basically, it was a preview of what you're going to see us working on this channel here.
Yeah.
Mainly Age of Sigmar, Warhammer 40K, some Bolt Action, some Conflict 47.
Conflict 47, yeah.
And some Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah.
So hopefully you've seen something in there that piques your interest in miniature wargaming and tabletop miniature gaming. Sorry, YouTube.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you have any questions about any of this stuff, leave a comments down below. If there's any armies, what do you guys play that, we're not checking out? We haven't got into the kill team or any of the skirmish stuff yet.
No, we haven't yet.
We might be checking some of that out later in the year. But there's also, we didn't even touch on, some of, the mech. We got started, at Battletech way back in the day.
Yeah.
And now they have, with the Titans now, the
Titanicus. Yeah, which looks interesting. Because it uses a different system, so it'll, and they're cool models.
There's different scales. I even got into the Warmaster back in the day, where it was like the little tiny,
like Flames of War or stuff like that, where you got really small miniatures.
I'm too old to paint 15 millimeter anymore, so I can't do it. But yeah, this is about the range we got now, right now. So hopefully, like I said, you've seen something that piques your interest in miniature tabletop gaming. And hopefully you'll be watching us as we put some together, we paint them, we learn the rules, and we play some games. So thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. Like I said, if you want to support the channel, you can subscribe, tell your friends about us, or maybe check out our Patreon over at our Grizzled Geek, our second channel. So thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time.